Hello and welcome to 2023. It's Sybil. I'm Sybil Wilkes, and some of the gang is here. Hello, Chris Paul.
What up? How are
Hey,
you?
great. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. And welcome to 2023. Coy Malone, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How's everybody doing on this lovely evening?
It is lovely. It is lovely. And so nice and warm for the first of the year, and at least warmer than it was about a week or so ago.
No, thank
Right.
goodness. Thank
Did you
God.
guys have good holidays?
Yes. Very
Yes.
good. Glad to make it to 2023.
Amen, brother.
And
Amen.
I'm at that age where all I speak now are old black people cliches. Glad to be above ground for one more day.
Better to be seen than to be viewed. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Better let it out than keep it in.
And Chris, you had a birthday too.
I did.
Happy belated birthday.
Big 5-4.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Soon it'll be going double nickels, huh? Good
Yeah.
for you. Life
And I
is
want to
good.
thank my family for the Costco-sized box of adult diapers they bought me. Much needed.
I was gonna say they obviously got you something you needed. And Coy,
Man.
how about you? A good holiday?
Yeah, I had a blast.
Awesome. Awesome. I love to hear that. Had a blast. Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
You
we'll
young
talk
people come
about
up with
that.
all these weird names for weed. You had a blast. Is that they call it these days?
A blast.
A blast.
No.
Well, let us move to the What You Need to Know newsletter with current news and information. We appreciate folks subscribing to it. If you would, it's still free in the 2003, 23, I should say. And it is our effort to super serve the African American community. Please go to sybilwilkes.com to subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter. And we have items ranging from politics to the coronavirus to social justice to Ministry Monday, as we have in the Monday episode, as well as Historically Black College Corner, HBCU Corner, and the Black and Fit. We try to get all of those things in, things that pertain to our community and to our people. So with that, Coy, let's start with you in the Social Justice Corner and talking about the indictment of an Atlanta police officer in the 2019 murder of an African American man. But what does it mean?
I know, right? That's what we're still trying to figure out. So I was digging through the rumor mill on Instagram to find out that former Atlanta police officer Sung Kim was indicted on involuntary manslaughter and other charges for the shooting death of Jimmy Atchison, who was a 21-year-old black man who was shot and killed by this officer while he was unarmed. Basically, what happened was in 2019, the FBI created a task force that was serving an arrest warrant for Mr. Atchison, who ended up running from police. He ran through an apartment complex, entered somebody else's apartment, and hid in the closet.
Not his apartment, but a neighboring
Someone
apartment.
else's.
Okay.
Yes. And so what they're saying is that he stole a woman's purse and a cell phone. And this is a claim that was later disputed in court by a witness that was produced by his family. So anyway, what happens is after he was hiding in this closet, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation did their own investigation on this shooting, and they found out that he got conflicting commands from officers. While one officer told him to come out with his hands up, another officer told him not to move.
Right.
So there wasn't any body cameras being worn at this time.
How
because
convenient
of FBI
was that?
Right. Mm-hmm. And this
because the Georgia Bureau of Investigations did not have body cameras, or they weren't allowed to have body cameras in the middle of investigations.
Yes. So this is one of the cases that definitely spearheaded the requirement for all officers to wear body cameras at all times. So basically what happened was when he came out, his family is saying that he came out, he had his hands up, but the officer decided to shoot him in the face anyway. And the officer was quoted saying that he thought he had a weapon and he made like a menacing move towards him. So this man was shot in the face. He died of his injuries. And there was just a lot of public outcry for this officer to be indicted. This is one of the persons whose names were being chanted throughout the protests in 2020 after the murder of George Floyd. There were several protests here in Atlanta as well.
And I dare say Rashad Brooks and other folks in that area, right?
Yes. So this is just one of the persons that a lot of people here in this city were protesting for at the time. So his family basically, became forerunners of this protest. They criticized our former district attorney, Paul Howard, as well as Fannie Willis, who was elected in 2020, for their failure to indict Kim. The Fulton County Public Integrity Unit also recommended that Kim be charged. And Howard said he was ready to present these charges in 2019. However, the COVID-19 pandemic shut down court proceedings. Willis, our current district attorney, pledged to resolve a backlog of 30 police use of force cases by the end of 2022, and has since indicted a number of current and former officers, including former officer Kim, who was allowed to retire
in October of
2019. Yes.
And not only retired, but allowed to turn himself in. They didn't go after him. And as far as I can tell from your story, he still has not turned himself in, has he?
No, he hasn't. So according to the rumor mill on Instagram, he had 7 days to turn himself in, which he still has not. And the last that I checked, there has not been an arrest warrant issued.
Wow.
So hold on, to back it up a little bit, the mandatory body cameras on police officers is still a state-by-state decision. It's not federally mandated.
It's not
yet?
in any of the national bills.
Wow. I mean,
as far as I know, it's mandated here. This is one of the cases that made that mandatory thing for officers to wear body cameras.
Because I'd be curious.
As far as I know, they wear them here.
I'm curious to know who are the states that still don't require mandatory body cams by police officers, and why would you be against that? Why would you be against that? Like, you know who's most against Ring cameras on people's front doors? Porch pirates, right? People stealing UPS packages are definitely anti-Ring cameras.
Right. People that don't want to get caught red-handed. I mean, I really feel like it's for the safety of the officers and the citizens, but due to things like qualified immunity and what have you, also police unions, I feel like even with cameras, they do help in a lot of cases. They still find a way to get out of it. I mean, look at it. We have this officer that's basically on the run.
Is he on the run, or is he more of a stroll, Coy?
I know, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I know in the state of Texas, there are cities like Dallas, I believe, in Fort Worth, and authorizing body cameras for police officers in the Texas legislature. But if your area, if you're out there and your area does not require your police to wear body cameras, we'd like to hear from you, and we'll put that up there. But also perhaps some information that we need to find out about overall. I would think even in that failed effort, Chris, where they were trying to pass the George Floyd Policing Act, and the Republicans came up with their own thing. I thought I remember something about police being required to wear body cameras and how this was starting to come about. But, correct me if I'm wrong. And
what's amazing is no matter how much camera footage anybody has or how many cell phone videos people shoot, there's such a large sector of this country that will still always side with the police. Like over the holidays, I'm sure you all saw that video of the young black dude getting choke slammed by some cop. Yeah. And he just wanted his phone, I think. And the cop went off and choke slammed him. I saw it on Twitter, and the comments underneath are all white people saying, okay, let me tell you this. The video is the dude sitting there, the black guy sitting there,
right,
asking for his phone. The cop goes crazy, choke slams him to the ground, and then holds him down by his neck. That's all you need to see. All the white comments. I need more context to this video. I need more context.
I'm sorry to laugh. It's just so ridiculous to hear that, right?
And I mean, they'll fight tooth and nail in these comments with those types of suggestions. Oh, I need more context. Oh, you should have just complied. Well, if you weren't doing what you if you weren't breaking the law, this wouldn't happen in the first place.
It wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of it comes from the brainwashing of seeing police on American television for 70 years.
Right.
And the cops are always the good people. Even Voight on Chicago PD is
right.
As awful as he is, he's the good guy on the show.
Lord knows there are a lot of those in every department.
Right.
Did you see remember the soldier who was pulled over by a cop, and the cop pulled the gun, and there was and this soldier is still fighting the police department. This was not an open and shut case. They're still going through it. And what was that, Coy? Like two years ago when this happened?
So, yes.
And this active duty military officer pulled over and just berated and held a gun on this man by the cops, and this guy is saying, "Please help me, I'm trying to fight this." And I believe
he's a black man who's a decorated member of the military,
right?
And it really pissed the cops off because he didn't pull over immediately. He wanted to go someplace that was well lit, because black people are paranoid about cops. So he went to a gas station.
Right.
And he has all the credentials of a decorated military person. Didn't they still pepper spray him or something?
Yeah, they still physically with their guns drawn, and because what was it, his license tag or something?
Yeah, but his tag was up in the window.
In the front window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's scary. And I'm even looking now to see if, officers are required to wear body cameras. And I am disappointed to report that even here in Georgia, state troopers don't have to wear body cameras. I think they do have audio, but they don't have body cameras. And it says a lot of their shootings happen off camera. And I mean, it's scary to think about. Like, I was literally arrested by a state trooper that he could have did whatever he wanted to do. He pretty much did in my case. And wow, it's sad to think about.
And had you not had someone there with you who witnessed it, and not to say that the witness is going to be foolproof, but definitely to have someone with you as you're going through this, and whatever the cop says is going to be challenged by the two of you. It still just boggles the mind that in this day and age, what does it take? We have all of these bills. The president has signed a $1.7 trillion bill to keep this country moving. And what segment of that? I know the Defense Department rightly gets a lot of this money, but shouldn't some of this money go to the state police departments, the city, the municipalities, and provide body cameras for these people?
And also,
simple.
Back to the case you're talking about with the soldier. We've had crammed down our throat ever since Colin Kaepernick took a knee, how much respect this country has for people in the military, and yet it all went out the window when this black dude is a soldier.
Right. By a white cop.
Right.
It's patriotic until it's black.
Yeah, until that happens. So Coy, stay on this. Another case we need you to stay on, Coy, is if you don't have enough keeping you busy. But I'm just curious, because I'm a big Funny Willis fan. I like the fact that there is a black woman who is the DA of the county and is doing things on a national scene with the Trump administration and making those things happen. But there are things in your own backyard that need addressing as well.
Yeah, and this is the part that's making me not like her.
Well, as a resident, I can understand. I get it. But as I said, this is
one of a few things.
One of the other stories we're covering in the first edition of the What You Need to Know newsletter for the year talked about this new year and new state laws that have gone into place. Taxes are going down in a number of states, which means more money for people to get that they won't be paying to the state government, and more money in their paychecks. Minimum wages are going up for residents in a number of states, and there is some new laws that could affect access to abortion and abortion products. Others will see ease on restrictions on marijuana, as well as in Alabama, you don't need anything you don't need any kind of permit to carry a concealed weapon. Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah. One of the things that they are working on in the state of Illinois, but it's now caught up in court, is the Safety Act, in which they were seeking a cashless bail, which people say has a detrimental effect on Black people, and especially people who don't have the money to bail themselves out of jail. And there's a lot of back and forth as far as letting people back out on the streets, and there are some conditions to allowing people to participate in the cashless bail system in terms of, what your history is and what the crime is that you are being charged with. It's not just letting everybody out willy-nilly, but in the state of Illinois, they've taken this all the way to the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court has now withheld the ability for this new law that is supposed to eliminate cash bail for people accused of crimes. A judge put that on hold at the end of the month in 64 counties. Had challenged it as unconstitutional, and requiring bonds to be posted has long been a way to ensure that people who are arrested will show up for their trials. But this, obviously, as I said, penalizes the poor people.
I need people to understand that there was a viral video going around that was showing like an officer explaining how this new system would work, and they were like, that means murderers and rapists and all this stuff will be free. And I want everybody to realize that that was a scare tactic to make you think that that's what's going to happen, when in actuality, a judge has to literally rule based on the crime if this person can be set free or not. So if it's something minor like loitering, maybe larceny, I mean, even
petty theft,
like
that kind of thing,
theft, things like that, traffic tickets. Okay, the judge will say that you can go home. This is when you're due back in court. But if it's for something like rape, murder, kidnapping, drug trafficking, human trafficking, you will have to remain in jail.
Right. Eliminating cash bail puts Illinois, once it's passed, and they're hoping that it will be. This will put this in a group of states, including California, Indiana, New Jersey, and Nebraska, and New York, that have prohibited or restricted the practice. And hopefully things will come about that will make a difference for people who are stuck and for the most part called away from and unable to go to work and make money so that they can fight their case.
Right. They did that here in Georgia as well. In Atlanta, they were getting rid of bail for certain things. They were like, oh, no. And they allowed this propaganda to get in their ear. And so it was overturned like as quickly as it was thought of.
Right.
and implemented.
Well, hopefully it'll be overturned in Illinois too, Coy, because this has been something that has a lot of white folks upset. But more to the point, the inequities in our system are being given a lot of attention, and definitely should be. I'm not too far away from law and order, but I also know that justice is not being done to a lot of these people, and so that's something that we have come to know all too well, and would appreciate having this being brought public. So check out our story about the new changes in the state laws that have come about as a result of the 023, and also check out the other stories. For instance, Ministry Monday, something we have every Monday. Willie Mae McIver makes a great contribution and talks about Christians making New Year resolutions, finding out what a resolution is, what that means to you, as well as going back over 3,000 years in history during the ancient days of Babylonia, which is kind of a trip. You just don't think in terms of that, but definitely it is something to check out. The wellness check, the wellness corner, new yoga poses to try to help those of us with our stiff hips and what have you, as well as the little known Black History fact. And this is great, Chris. The HBCU corner, Bethune-Cookman has hired Hall of Famer Ed Reed as its new head coach.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a real dog out there. One of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Ed Reed, that's a great hire.
That is.
And also, I meant to mention this 2 stories ago, but you're talking about new laws that went into effect. Also on January 1st, it went into effect here in the DMV that the Washington Commanders are not allowed to go to the playoffs. I I didn't know that until the Packers won. When the Packers won, I found out about that new law.
Well, it's an understood law in the state of Illinois too, regarding the Chicago Bears.
And the head coach of the Commanders, Ron Rivera, did you see the video where he didn't even know after the Washington lost on was it Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
The reporter asked him, so are you going to make a decision on quarterback now or wait until you find out if you've been eliminated later today? Ron Rivera's like, huh? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? We can be eliminated today? The guy said, yeah, if the Packers win. He said, really? Sure enough, 3 hours later, the Packers win.
Yeah, and don't we hate that, just as a Chicago Bears fan. All right, so let's move to our what's really going on question, our question of the day. And we mentioned about the history of resolutions. And so the question for people is not so much your resolutions, but what are you manifesting for your life this year? In terms of what you see you're aiming for, but you're also putting out the vision and working towards this vision of what you see, manifesting, putting it out there. And Coy has a lengthy list, so I'm going to ask for your top 5. And while you give us your top 5, Chris, I want you to think about that. What would you like to manifest for yourself in this next year of 2023? So Coy, give us your top 5, because Coy has like a list of, pages and pages of stuff normally when we ask her a question.
All for 2023.
And so, and while Coy is warming up to give us her whole list, also asking people to share with us the manifestations in your life things that you would like to see come to fruition. And I will share my simple request as well, my visions for this as well. All right, Coy, you're up.
I am manifesting monetary wealth, because that matters. I'm manifesting completing repairs on my dad's home, so it can be used as an Airbnb or sets for TV shows, movies, things of that nature. I would like to manifest more or new love, abundant love in my life.
And love in abundance, is that love from one person, or are you looking for multiple?
I mean, no, a player like me, no, I'm just playing.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it could be from one person, but also, family, friends, that type of deal, like in all levels of my life. I don't want one to suffer and then have greatness in another area, if that makes sense. I want them all to be great for me.
Is that a real word women use to describe a man? Like, so Coy, what's about that guy you're dating? Oh, he's abundant.
Abundanza.
He's abundant.
Oh yes. The gifts are plenty. I think you got Coy there, Chris Paul.
He did. I got nothing.
Do you have more manifestations?
I think those are my top 3, along with, good health and definitely a work-life balance. I've been incorporating that little by little over the last few months, and that's been helping a lot. I think I need to get the hang of it, but I think that would really, really help me out, because all I do is work.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking for that balance too, and better organization, so that I can have that balance in my life, and I will agree with you on the monetary benefits of manifesting that in my life as well. I'm one of those, went out and bought my Mega Millions tickets. And I believe I'll be doing that again tomorrow before the next drawing. But definitely, you can't win if you don't play. So
right.
I'm going to play and put it out there that all of my friends and family are going to benefit from this. So let us move forward. Hey, Chris, what about you? You had a great holiday, first Christmas for your grandson and your family, and now you're into this. You had a birthday and into this new year. Do you have any things that you are manifesting?
I'm manifesting new levels to my life in everything. First, I want to manifest challenging myself to use every bit of my talents, even things I've never tapped into. Just remove is remove any doubt, any fear, and just be all that I'm supposed to be while here. And I'm manifesting abundance financially, and also I'm manifesting living, like I mean real living. I think that I definitely, ever since coronavirus and it's still around, but ever since the pandemic kept everybody home, I just got too comfortable being home. Like I'm manifesting me getting out there and being someone who lives a life.
Right.
Even beyond what I was living before coronavirus hit. And do it safely. I'm not saying I'm gonna go around and let people cough in my face and stuff like that. But if they're gonna cough in my face, I'd like them to do it in Cabo. I'd like them to do it in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So yeah,
I just saw some great airfares to Cabo, by the way, Chris Paul. So you might want to take a look at that, maybe for a Valentine's Day getaway for you and the lovely Mrs. Yolanda, I don't know if we have people who are giving us their thoughts about what they're manifesting and their manifestations for 2023, and people like to share, perhaps. Let us move to that. Okay, here we go. Karen Allen on YouTube says, I'm manifesting health, peace, unity in the family, love, and financial stability. All right, all of that together. That's a big gumbo pot right there. I absolutely love that. Shirley Ann Tony Davis, our friend on Facebook, says, I want to love and help people with mental illnesses, help the elderly, help students to achieve to state standards, make one aware of the politics on the local levels, and lastly, write grants to help the homeless people. That is one of great selflessness and wonderful manifestations. Renee Woodridge on Facebook says, engage in a more healthy lifestyle. I agree with you on that. That's part of mine, and I didn't mention that, but I find myself really wanting to be healthier not because I walk and do stuff like that, but I don't eat well as I should, and so that is definitely something. And maybe a tall, good-looking chef who wants to cook for me, that would be great.
Chef Abundance.
Yeah, so if you run across Chef Abundance, Coy, let me know. Okay,
I will.
I hope you're not vegan.
That might not be a bad way to go either, Chris.
Chef Abundance has that meat.
He's all meat.
Yes.
Okay. So Janet Ferguson on Facebook says, start doing more, love, and eating healthier. I'm a breast cancer survivor and I need to start doing better. Good for you.
You guys start your statements with I want to, or I manifest, or else it sounds like you're telling us what we need to do.
Right. Well, there's that. You
just start off with eat healthy, and I took it personal. Hey, I will.
I want Chris to start eating healthy. Wandra Davis Farmer on Facebook says, wealth, stronger family love, and better work habits. So Wanda Davis Farmer wants wealth, stronger family, and better habits. Okay.
Let me ask you ladies. You ladies have higher psychic powers than I do. And how does it work when you try to manifest something that involves somebody else, or try and manifest for someone else? Don't they have to be all in with you for it to work? Or
I think there has to be an alignment, but definitely
you have to also understand that when you manifest something, it's not something that you just keep trying.
How does she do that?
You just keep trying, and for me, Chris, it's if I was manifesting someone or some person in my life, my manifestation would be someone who is in alignment with me, not to hope that we are in the same place.
Because for some people, I'm sure when it comes to dealing with other people, manifesting also means manipulating.
Well, there's that.
And manipulate someone into being what I want them to be.
Yeah,
right.
That's not manifesting. Right. That's something else. When you
so Coy, finish your statement because you froze there.
I know. So you just literally understand that this is what's going to happen, and you believe that, and then that's it. You don't keep revisiting it. You don't keep rethinking this. You just accept it, almost like how you go in a room and you're cutting a light switch on, it's going to cut on. It's the same way with manifesting.
Okay.
And it's a strong belief.
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda,
and they fall in place with it.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Chef Abundance.
Z Walker on Facebook says the next chapter is I retire 12/31/23, fulfilling my purpose of service and leaving a legacy.
All right.
I love that, Z. And we look forward to all of the great adventures you're going to have in this final year of your work life and what you are planning for 2024 and that legacy that you're going to leave. But this is an exciting time as you are preparing for your next chapter and this year when you're going to retire at the end of this year, 12/31/23. Good for you.
And Sybil, us being in show business, is crazy to hear people talking about they have jobs they can retire from.
I know, right?
There's no retirement plan in this business for us.
with the exception of one guy we know.
Oh yeah, but
that's absolutely true. It's just usually it's forced retirement, but not one of where we go willingly, right?
Yeah, you keep doing this.
Until you tired.
Exactly. JK Durod says, I want to continue to be a servant to others, lending a helping hand where needed. I just housed a family of 4 who lost their home. Others indicated I was too kind. I think that is positively wonderful.
Man, some of your viewers are making our manifestations look real selfish.
Yeah, really. I mean, I will give to organizations such as yours, JK. But I hope that it doesn't seem that I'm not regarding the needs and directions of others. I think that's positively wonderful and brilliant and what a positive force you are.
And to be fair to you, Sybil, you said, what do you want to manifest for yourself in 2023? So it wasn't like we were saying, screw the poor.
That was not a part of it.
That wasn't a part of it.
And I think the other thing, I don't know about manifesting, but I think it's going to be, I'm having this, every time I see a dog or a baby, I'm like, oh, I think the dog is really the answer for me at this stage of my life. But a dog, definitely bringing in a dog into my life.
How much are you willing to pay for a baby? I got one around here.
What do you think Marcel would go for? He is positively priceless.
He's
Chris.
Priceless. We'll talk after that Mega Millions ticket of yours.
Maybe Sybil is manifesting being an auntie or a godmother.
I'm a good auntie and I'm a good godmother. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Coy. That is a really good way to go. I think, and then that you're able to go, here you go.
Yeah.
Is that a good part about being a grandpa?
It's a great part of it. It's a
Papa?
great part. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Chris, you got another one coming this year too.
No, he came already.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he came right before the holidays.
Oh, I thought he was due in January.
That's what we were told, but nope.
Surprise! Congratulations.
He's here. They're down in Richmond where they live, where he's stationed. So I haven't even seen my grandson down there yet. But
in person.
Yeah, but I will.
Yeah, for sure.
Richmond's just so far. Yeah, Richmond is so far. I mean, I can't work up, driving 2 hours. It's the holiday season. Traffic.
Right. Weather, all of that. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. One last call for folks, Yolanda, if we have those who have their manifestations and would like to share them with the room, with the crowd here, with the class, if you will. And that is, and I should tell people that is Yolanda's word for the year too. She comes up with a different word or theme every year, and it is manifest. And
do you hurt your manifestations by speaking them out loud?
I don't think it's like, like a wish, like making a birthday wish or a Christmas wish. It's like, oh, you should keep that to yourself because it won't come true. I think you have to put it out there, not to make yourself responsible for, or to have someone help you be responsible for making that happen, but to put it in the universe and work towards the positiveness of that, the positivity of that. At least that's the way I see it. Okay. Coy, what do you think?
I think it's like to each their own. I feel like when you do manifest it, it's already pretty much out there. When you do share it with other people, some people like to insert their own, opinions or suggestions and what have you. And if you're not a strong believer in that end result and just, feel like, well, maybe I need to change it by doing this or make it happen by doing that, or maybe I need to back up, then that can change your results. That's what I feel like. So use it to your own discretion if you want to share it.
What kind of evil person are you if you are hating on somebody's manifestations for
that's
people
bad
do it all
right
the
there.
time.
That's
they do
whack.
it all the time.
That's so whack.
That's
It
bad
is.
karma. All right, let's move to trending topics and things that are going on. As we mentioned, Chris was the birthday boy the day after Christmas. Did you? And Chris, I think we've had that discussion before, but what's it like having your birthday so close, and for some people on Christmas Day? What's that like? Are you able to make the distinction between birthday and Christmas, or do you get a lot of combo presents?
It's like in comedy terms, I get to do a guest spot after the headliner. Jesus was the headliner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plus, so much work and stuff goes into Christmas that by the time my birthday hits, myself included, I really don't feel like much. The biggest thing I did on my birthday this year, there's a new Raising Cane's, and you know the chain. They sell chicken fingers. It opened up out here in Virginia. It's the only one in the entire DMV, and people have been lining up and waiting for hours. I kept telling my daughter I wanted to do that on my birthday. She made me go down there with her. We sat in line for 3 hours.
Wow.
And then got chicken tenders.
What a bonding moment that was for you guys, huh?
If bonding is two people in the car going, I'm hungry, damn it! Why didn't we bring some water? I'm so thirsty. That's exactly what it was like.
Well, Chris, I will tell you what I wish for your birthday, and folks who follow me on Instagram saw this, wishing you a happy birthday and wanting people to go and buy tickets for a certain DC Improv date. I believe it's January 25th.
That's right. I'm holding it down at the DC Improv January 25th. It's Chris Paul and friends. Now, I can't name who my friends are because if I give them any kind of billing, I've got to pay them more money, and I don't want to do that. So they will come out now for the agreed money, but it's going to be an all-star lineup. Get your tickets January 25th. Chris Paul and friends at the DC Improv. Go to dcimprov.com. Let's make it happen.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for that birthday wish. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I definitely feel your pain, Chris, because my birthday is like right behind Christmas, and people are already, getting ready for Christmas. They've already designated they're spending money. I try to go out this year. I really don't like to because everybody is still like in work mode trying to get that last minute Christmas money. So
well, speaking of money, it could be worse. You could be shelling out money like Southwest Airlines is going to have to. I don't know if any of you were affected by the weather and Southwest Airlines cancellations. I was lucky I was not. And just really because I seriously looked at Southwest, and Southwest is not the bargain that it used to, you could get a good fare and things like that. And I was finding a lot of unavailable flights because I had to go and make a quick trip. But this that happened, the absolute meltdown of Southwest Airlines over the past week to 7 to 10 days was absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen. Not only for passengers who were, stuck in places with just trying to get home to their families or get back to work or whatever without their luggage and Southwest employees, my God, trying to find out, where they are and how do we just finding out the whole system was so such an antique and so out of date and how things were just kind of held together with spit and gaffing tape, to get people where they were going from one place to another. Just awful. And they got back on track as of Friday, but they had to scrub another 160 flights after returning to their regular flying schedule following the meltdown last week. Now, as of Monday afternoon, they canceled 160 or 3% of its flights, the most of any American airline, according to the tracking site FlightAware. Another 422 or 10% of its scheduled flights were delayed and the majority of the disrupted flights were scheduled to fly in or out of Denver International Airport. And a lot of folks are trying to stay away from the West Coast because there's storms there, and now they are going to be moving towards the middle of the country.
I wasn't affected by it either, but I was horrified when the whole thing went down. I mean, I've flown Southwest for years, and I've never had a problem on it. Matter of fact, I would think I thought they were pretty decent.
Yeah.
And then when this happens, and then you find out how much the government gave them, and they instead of using it to update their systems into the modern, out of the Stone Age, they use it for
stockholders.
Right. I mean, it's total mismanagement.
It was so disturbing. And I mean, I had a couple of delays, but nothing like this, where you get on a plane, it's like, sorry, we're not going anywhere. But so I was very fortunate, but I got to tell you, I just felt for people who were just sitting there and, just bereft because they couldn't get home. They couldn't get to their families. They couldn't get back home, and they were just kind of stuck there, and their luggage, who knows where it was, and left unattended.
Oh yeah. That's the thing that really bothered me about that. Not only were people told like, oh, come back in a few days, we're not going, anywhere, you have to make alternate arrangements until we could get you back on a flight. There were piles of luggage everywhere, and the only thing that was securing them was like one little rope.
Right, exactly.
Only people happy about Southwest is Spirit Airlines.
We told you.
And even they had some issues as well. They had some issues as well with canceling flights.
Not that bad though.
I think all of the airlines did because the weather.
And Spirit didn't lose anybody's luggage because people can't afford to bring luggage.
You can't,
flight. That's an extra $50.
Exactly. Right. California is catching it again. Remnants of a historic storm left almost 50,000 homes and businesses in California without power today, as residents brace for the onslaught of more bad weather. Could bring up to 8 inches of rain in some areas and trigger additional flooding and mudslides. The battered state faces another atmospheric river this week. And the Midwest and South can also expect damaging weather, according to AccuWeather. The newest storm was forecast to sweep across Northern California, dipping into Southern California on Tuesday, and rainfall could reach 1 inch in some areas, and this will be followed by even more potent storm, poised to slam Northern California late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Happy holidays, everyone. This is all calms down after downtown San Francisco recorded 5.5 inches of rain on Saturday. Wow. 5.5 inches, the highest one-day total in more than 28 years. And California is not alone in bracing for the dangerous weather. A winter storm moving across the Midwest and today and tomorrow, with areas of heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain. And it's so warm here. We had the third highest January 1st temperature of 78 degrees that they were predicting tornadoes as a result of the rain that we were supposed to get today, which we're lucky that we did not get, but that's not to say that it won't happen. So please be careful out there and help folks as needed. And check on your folks. Definitely. This has been another horrific period of time where at the end of the year, you guys, and I don't know if this has affected you the way that it has me, but the number of deaths, celebrity deaths that have come about just over the last several days. And I mean, I've got about 6 of them to go through, but let's go through them quickly. Anita Pointer, leader of the Pointer Sisters, dead at the age of 74. Her death was the result of a somewhat lengthy and heroic battle with cancer. According to her representative, she died peacefully at home Saturday, surrounded by her family. She was a part of the group formed in the late 60s after Anita quit her job as a secretary and formed the supergroup, the Pointer Sisters, with her sisters Bonnie, June, and Ruth. And they became one of the most popular groups in the 70s. Chris, did you have any favorite songs from the Pointer Sisters?
I like Slow Hand.
I bet you do, in abundance, yes.
I like Sleeping Alone.
Okay, all right, youngin. Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I'm quick everything else, but I have a slow hand.
He's So Shy was one of my favorites, and
Yeah.
Neutron Dance. I really like that
I
too.
like Automatic too.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of hits came out
A
of
lot of
that
hits.
sound. Yeah. And they said that she was the one that kept all of us close and together for so long. Her love of our family will live on in each of us, and rest in peace there, Anita Pointer. Also, millions of people have flooded the streets to mourn the soccer legend Pele at a funeral in Brazil. And they say that thousands upon thousands today, Monday, to pay their respects at as a funeral for the late soccer legend got underway at a famed football stadium in his hometown of Santos. And they were all wearing the number 10 jerseys and clad in yellow and green attire, lined up to get glimpses of the former footballer's coffin at the Caldera Stadium. And some camped out for hours to be the first allowed into the ceremony. The services, he was placed under a tent on the field of the venue, the same place where he scored hundreds of goals for the Santos FC football club for nearly 2 decades. So Pele suffered from colon cancer, and he was 82 years of age. Barbara Walters.
What a superstar Pele
Did you
was.
ever see him play, Chris, in person?
No, but I just remember when I was really young in elementary school, and whenever we played soccer in gym class, every single kid, it's just his name is on everybody's lips. Everybody tries to kick a goal, they say Pele.
Right.
Because it's like imagine if Michael Jordan was the only basketball player
that
anybody knew.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
Yeah. And the setting records with the World Cup, which we just went through, and how he did that for his teams, and just an amazing fellow, and so gifted in a number of different areas. An actor. He was really a humanitarian and a great representative for his sport as well as for his country.
Yeah.
We had not seen her in a while, but Barbara Walters passed away at the age of 93. One of the biggest and most recognizable news anchors in the world. She was regarded as a woman who paved the way for so many women in not only in journalism, but women in general in the business world. She passed away Friday. And she had been out of public view for the last several years. But it's been really great to hear people who came to know Barbara Walters, who I'd never met her, but of course, Sherry Shepard, our friend, worked with her for years on The View and talked about, the things that she learned and sitting at her knee and things like that. Jackie Reed also spoke about being on the set of The View and being in Barbara Walters' presence. And the only thing I have is a book that my mom gave me, written by Barbara Walters, How to Talk to Practically Anybody About Anything, which I wish I could find it. In my libraries somewhere, but that is a book that had a profound effect on me, and she wrote this like maybe about 40 years ago, when I believe when she was still with the Today Show. So
again,
God bless her.
Through my youth and my teens and young adulthood, there were only two in news that mattered. It was Barbara Walters and Walter Cronkite. Cronkite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like
Walter Cronkite.
They were both the giants of an industry. Now you got all these news channels. There's a billion of them.
Right.
Who's top of the heap now? Who would you say is?
Well, I'd like to think that Lester Holt is one of those that is at the top of the heap. But it's hard to say. Anderson Cooper certainly would be one. I saw Don Lemon over the holiday, and he's doing a great job on CNN. There's and then we can't forget like Joy Reid on MSNBC and folks like that.
I guess it'll never be like when there were only three networks. When ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Right.
Yeah.
Coy, do you remember when there were only 3 networks?
I don't think so, but I definitely remember Barbara Walters and Dan Rather.
Yeah.
Remember him? Who are some of my favorites? I really like the job that Don Lemon is doing as well. I really commend him for sticking with it, because CNN was giving him a hard time for a very long time. And I remember a lot of this going on when I actually used to work for TBS back in the day. And I'm just so happy to see that he's one of the Black anchors that stuck it out. And now he has his own time to shine, because before they were just like really trying to put him in the background. And shout out to Roland Martin too. I really liked.
And
Oh
Roland
my goodness.
Roland is
Still do.
rolling.
And
Roland is
still do,
rolling. But
right.
yeah, but he's quite something.
Dan
And
Rather, who's amazing, he's, to use another sports analogy I love to do, he's like Aaron Rodgers. He came and replaced Brett Favre.
okay, yeah.
Walter
When
Cronkite
Cronkite,
was the
yeah,
GOAT, yeah.
yeah.
And then Dan Rather had an amazing career and still great. On Twitter, you got to follow Dan Rather.
And you know who I absolutely love, Chris, was Max Robinson.
Oh,
Also on
come
ABC
on.
News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on to see a brother who was like cool. Cool and debonair and just, oh man.
Yep, the personification of cool.
Gold standard.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. One more thing, just want to give our regards to the Pope. The former Pope Benedict had died at the age of 95 and did something no other Pope had ever done, and that's to retire from the business of poping. And so they're going to have his services this weekend. Earth, Wind, and Fire, the family drummer Freddie White has died at the age of 67. This just came out. And so our thoughts and prayers go to Verdine and the family there, as they are saying that he is up there in heaven playing with Maurice and the others. And the Queen of Memphis, friends of Gangsta Boo of Mafia 36. Yeah.
36
Mafia. Sorry.
Yeah.
But a lot of folks there. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move to entertainment. And from our Mama Don't Play file, Angela Bassett, the mama to end all mamas. Obviously, if you've seen Wakanda Forever and and what she did in this movie, this is in her own home, and her son has had to pay for his trying to prank his mom. Her 16-year-old son Slater has to apologize. He's got some splaining to do. His son pulled a prank on his mom to cap off the year, telling her that Michael B. Jordan had just died. Obviously not true. And then he realized that it wasn't a good idea. He posted the video as he was trying to prank his mom to his TikTok account. And it was a quick 20-second clip showing him breaking this heartbreaking news to his mother. Obviously, she had gone through this with Chadwick Boseman, and now with Hey Auntie, the nephew in Black Panther, Michael B. Jordan, another one of her Black Panther co-stars, had passed away. He's trying to get crazy reaction out of his mother, and he did. And you see his mother freaking out, saying, no, no, no. And she's just heartbroken at the thought of Michael B. Jordan dying. He said, according to some people who saw the clip, he said that he was joking. Didn't get to see what her reaction was once she realized the death was a fake, that he was pranking her. But he had to go on social media and say, I apologize. I'm very sorry for doing this. And
I would have much rather that if Angela Bassett had posted the video of her beating his ass.
That's what I'm talking about.
Death is something that you don't play about. That's not something that you know.
But that is an actual prank on TikTok now. I saw before her son did his. I saw one where this teenage girl is telling her mom that Robert De Niro died, and her mom freaks out and everything. And she says, the mom's like, no, no, no. Then eventually the daughter starts laughing because she got her on a prank. I pranked you saying somebody you're a big fan of died.
So I saw when Yolanda sent me one of this guy who put an emergency message on the television saying that we're being attacked by the Russians, right? And I still laugh about that.
Oh my God.
This Black father just freaked out. And he's going...
Can't even get it out.
I can't even get it out. It was so funny to me, and it was like, and so it's that kind of thing. The world is coming to an end. It was just very funny to me. I'm sorry, but Coy, I wish you and I know Yolanda sent it to me like, oh, this will, I still laugh about it. It's been a couple of weeks since she sent this. I thought it was brilliant on the son's part, but then having to tell you that you're going outside. looking to see what's going on. And sorry, I was kidding. I was playing. I was just playing. So
that's messed up.
It was
that's
pretty
a good
messed
one, though.
up. It was pretty messed up. So I do want to stop here with our Yogi's Jewel today. And also to remind folks, we are going to be returning with another episode of our partnership with the American Heart Association, talking about heart health and strokes and things like that with Damon Williams. Going to be talking about that on Thursday for folks who may have missed it. And as we end with Yogi's Jewels, talking about that word we mentioned in the question of the day, you have the power to speak into your life, good or bad. It's called manifestation. And so we will leave you with that. How are you going to manifest this next year for yourself and hopefully for the good that can benefit others? And as Chris said, we have to go out there and say, I see this. I am picturing this for my life. And you can't worry about other folks. You just got to go out there and do it for yourself. Hopefully, Huggy Lowdown will return with us next week. And with
manifest that.
I am manifesting it in abundance. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Wonderful. Happy New Year to everyone. And we will see you again soon. Aloha.